Hey, welcome back. We're back in Timberborn in our mod colony, and today we've got to secure some resources. Our food and our water is starting to climb. We've got some reservoirs in that is taking care of a lot of the basics, but we need to be able to keep building, and I think a good place to do that would be to come over here and see if we can get here. So we're just going to take the direct route. So let's clear this out. There we go. All that can get out of there. And then we're going to put in some platforms so we can get across here. Now, we don't have the double, but I think I'm going to use the suspension bridge across here, and we'll build our first nice little bridge. There we go. Once that's in, we'll connect all this in. We'll get these in here. Toss down a couple of lumberjack flags to get us started. And we'll say, of course, we want to get all of these trees in here, at least as many as we can possibly get. We'll mark that one. We'll mark those. We'll get all of those in there. And they can start working on all of that in here. Oh, look at that. They've already got most of it connected in here. So there we go. And the last one comes out. We've got you in there. So that looks good. Now back over here, we're starting to get a little behind on beavers, so let's just toss one in here, and we are going to make sure that they can get here. I think I'd also like to move this, so we're going to take out a couple of these potatoes over here. Let's see. We need about that much room, and we'll move this up here so we can put in some more houses. It should not take them too long to do. Now, while they're working on that, I want to take a road and come around all the way. Oops, let's go over here. There we go. We'll get it in here. Now, as you can see, this little bit of bad water is always coming over here and ruining this water here. So we're just going to stick in a nice levee here. Let's toss her down. Oh, how about right there? Then we can connect across and grab more trees. Also, since there's a nice reservoir of water here, we might as well take advantage of that. Let's see if we can toss you in there. There we go. Now we can get this as our drought is getting closer. And while we're here, let's also get the storage. I'm trying to get storages a lot closer to some of these and set them all up to be supplies, so these guys don't have to walk as much. It seems to increase their efficiency quite a bit. Same thing over here. I think I need, well, this guy isn't doing anything, so let's make sure he's got, there's two trees there he could be cutting, and he could cut that one too. There we go. Once those are out of there, we can tell him to do something else, but let's go ahead and get another water place here so that they can supply water to other places. Let's get some of these in. We'll get some more potatoes in, since I'm sure we'll be losing even more here. Let's get a new campfire in, and we'll reorganize this a little bit. Maybe put some nice decorations in there. Once that's in, we can get rid of this one and build in a couple more houses that we're going to need. Speaking of need, though, kind of looks like we need something better for a lumber mill. Let's see what we can do there. I'm going to need a way to build faster. So we need the builder's hut, but we don't quite have the science for it. We need a lumber mill. So let's just toss a lumber mill. How about here-ish? That looks good to me. Close enough to anything. There we go. We'll get a road in here. You know what? While I'm looking at it, let's get a road down here so that we can get these trees as well. We're going to need those eventually too. As many trees as we can possibly get. We're going to go ahead and do storage down here. Let's see. Let's just grab a small one. We're going to do two of them. One for the intake of logs. So we'll say obtain here. And this one can be for the out of the supply. We'll go ahead and get you in there. They'll get all of that set up. They are trying to work on this, but I think this block is in the way. That should let them get to a little bit more stuff over here. We'll let them go to that as well. Our drought has started, so we can take a look and see what still needs moved around, such as this water. We're going to want all of these up here to be supply. We don't necessarily need them holding water up here, so we'll have them move closer to our main place over here so that this always has water, and we don't have to worry about them coming up here to get it at the end of the day. Our nice haulers should move it around for us. There we go. That should help out quite a bit. They're going to pull in all of this. We've got a new one here. These are on, but I'm going to turn them off temporarily because I don't want to waste any water. So let's go ahead, send them out. We'll keep an eye on this. About halfway through, we might turn them back on so we can keep the area green, but we don't necessarily need them on all the time. Over here, it looks like they've got quite a bit in. Let's put you in here. Did I mark those to cut already? Nope. Let's do that. Let's do that. So we've got some more trees there should we need them. In fact, it looks like we're needing a little bit of everything. They're pulling in a little bit here. Let's go ahead and open up the berries for now. We'll see if we can fill it back up. We've got trees over here. They're working on this. They should be able to build this bridge and then build this out. Once they do that, we'll have plenty of lumber. But you know what? We've got a little bit up here that we can take a look at as well. So let's just cut you down. There we go. And we'll say put a couple in here. Let's grab a ladder if we can, and we'll work our way down the mountain and just connect everything back in. There we go. We had about a 12-day drought, which I think we'll do okay. We've got the water to back it up. It might get a little dry toward the end, but I think we'll be all right as long as we can hang in there. I'm going to make that priority so that we can get rid of this. They've got this. This guy has already drank all of the water that they can possibly get to. So let's get rid of that. You're not cutting anything down. Nobody gets to just sit around and do nothing. That's what we definitely don't want to see. Now we've got a couple extra, well, we will have a couple of extra beavers. Now that this is in here, I can remove this. We can put in a couple more here. There we go. We're really on a roll here. We'll get some more beavers in here. Hopefully the water will fill up, but if it doesn't fill up this time, it should definitely fill up next time. Then we won't have to worry too much about population. Right now, it looks like we're down just a bit. We're actually 6 behind, but we have a couple of open spaces. So if we're lucky, we'll have the beavers finally catch up on their population. But to do that, I'm going to need some more stuff, which means I'm going to get a builder's hut because I don't want to wait around for things to get built. We've got plenty of stuff that we're waiting on. Let's go ahead and tell somebody to come over here so they can clean this out. We've got trees coming in here. Our bridge is coming in, which is good. It takes 20 planks though, so that might take just a minute. Let's grab our water here and say, yep, supply you. And we'll go ahead and turn you back on just so you can grab a tree or two. Well, why are you not grabbing? Oh, that would be. Let's grab. There we go. Now we have all the trees ready to cut down. They weren't quite ready before. So let's turn you on for just a minute so that we get to keep a little bit of that water. While we're over here, I want to start taking this path around the edge of the map. We can get stuff connected in. Hopefully, eventually, this will turn into clear water reservoir, even if it's just a small, shallow one. It'll help keep things around here nice and good to go. So let's do our forester here. Yep, because we're going to need more trees eventually. Let's grab, how about the oak? We'll just fill this whole area with oak. Oak and more oak. And even more oak. There we go. And we are going to want one. We're going to want another one of these. So let's put you How about right there? And then we're not going to need these berries here. So let's just say we're going to take them out of there. Get rid of that. There we go. They'll come over and take care of that in just a few. How's our logs doing? All of our supplies are getting a little low other than water. But of all the supplies to actually have, water is not a bad one to be ahead on. So here we go. We've got this. They've got to build this yet, but since that's in there, we can go ahead and start putting in the rest of our reservoir, which we really kind of need. So we're going to go here and then, oh, actually, you know, I can't put that in yet, can I? Because then they can't get over there to that tree. So let's go ahead and just leave that there. They'll fill all of that in and we'll check back on that in just a second. Don't want my carrots to get dry, so let's go ahead, take care of that. Nobody gets to sit around. Nobody gets to sit around. If there's nothing to cut, we don't want them there either. So how are they doing here? They have one plank. I'm going to say this is super important so we can go ahead and get across there before we run out of trees. That would be the last thing that I want to happen, is to run out of trees and us be stuck waiting on some more stuff to come in. Oh, here's another guy that's sitting. Love to see a mod that just gives us an idea of, you've got this many people sitting around doing nothing. Non-active mod or something like that. But I'm not sure how game would tell, so you never know. But if it can be done, I'd love to see it. There we go. They got that. So now we can get out of here and finish our nice little reservoir we've got going on. Let's get that and that and that. Now here is an interesting situation. I could use a couple of these platforms, and let's see, they're 4 and 2 apiece. So I would have to have 2, so I'd have 8 and 4. However, I want to grab these side platforms. Now they're going to cost me a little more overall, but they give me a huge advantage in that I don't need to worry about how tall these are from then on. I can simply put one in and, oh, I don't have the science. We'll come back to that. But once we have the science, we'll come back and we'll put in a side platform here so that we can get around. And we'll take a look here and take a quick break and see some of the cool stuff that you get with the same mod that gives you this side platform. Today on our mod break, we're going to be taking a look at the More Platforms mod. This neat little mod I often pick up as it's one of the few mods that can either add just a little ease to the game, or it can completely break a game depending on how you use it. Let's take a look at some of the stuff that you get with it. One of the major things you get with this mod when you install it is the side platforms, which come in a variety of 1, 2, 3, or 4. They can attach to just about any surface as long as there's room. The 1, 2, and 3 only need 1 brick below them, but the 4 does need an extra brick on its side. This mod can be extremely useful when you want to do things like make a giant reservoir here that you don't have a corner piece for, and you don't want to build platforms all the way up the side, so you can come over here, grab one of the platforms, put it right in here, and then when they build that, they should now be able to build all of this in here, and that saves you the time of them building extra platforms in here that you won't need and don't look quite as nice. I have had a couple of problems in the past trying to find out where the platform is going to be, and an easy way to get around that is to find a corner where the platform will show up, and then just hit your rotate or your R button until you can see the platform. Then you can move it over to the location you want, and usually this will help you get some of the platforms to where they need to be in a much easier fashion. One of the other things you get with this mod is the reinforced items, which those can be pretty nice. You can build up, but their advantage is that you can add side platforms to them. Unlike some of the regular ones, they also function For a lot of other things, like if a building needs solid below, you can use these reinforced platforms to lift them up into the air. Remember what I said about being able to completely break the game? Well, the last thing you can get are these side platforms, and you can attach them pretty much anywhere you want, in any pattern you want. And if you've ever wanted to just build a floating city, you can actually do that using these. I've used them to build many floating cities. I've built airships, and as long as they have a connection point, they will easily stay up in the air, and then you can build whatever you like on them. You can build your houses, and you can have beavers living up in the air without any problems. Sometimes they get a little messy on... you can see they're kind of up in the air here, but you can fix all of that, go back through, clear them up, and then you can have a floating beaver city if that is really what you want. And there you go. See? So, something to keep in mind if you ever run out of room on a map and want to use a mod to get some more space. This is a great one because you can make as much space as you need. After the break, they've got a couple of our buildings in. Our builder's hut's helping out, speeding things up over here. They also got our bridge in, so we are getting a lot of logs over here. However, we've got the same problem where they're having to go too far to take logs by themselves. So we're going to take these out of here and once again put in, you know what, we're going to do this whole area right here. And we'll say that that is pretty important so we can get these logs transferred out of there. While we're waiting on that, though, we've got these two areas right here that are just one block to hold in a lot of extra water. So while we do that, let's just toss in a dam, one right there and one right here. We might have to bring this out around, though, just to get the road to get over there far enough. Yeah, that's close enough. Now, next time, this should all be full of water, which we might pull some water from there, or we might just leave it to keep this ground green for now. They pulled our berries out of there, which is awesome. Let's go ahead and put in a large pile right here. We'll say that's for logs, and of course, that's supply too, so these guys will supply logs to there, and then from there... they will take them to everywhere else. In fact, I could probably put down another one down here. You know what? They're using that, and they can come over here and build with that. Let's see. We do finally have the science that we need for these side platforms. So let's go ahead, get that side platform we need. There we go. Oh, we're going to put that right up there. And yeah, I could have used probably the regular platforms, been cheaper and easier. In fact, we'll probably use one right here and right here, but we've got other plans for these side platforms, so we'll just let them build all the way through there. We'll get that connected in. This we don't need anymore, so let's go ahead and take that out of there. Now we're getting going on some of our stuff here. We've got an extra lumber mill, and we're finally starting to get some planks in, so hopefully that helps us build a little bit. Now that we've got the water coming back, though, we're going to want to make sure that any of the pumps that I happen to turn off are turned back on, which puts us again a little behind on the beavers, but we've got a ton of kits, so sooner they grow up, probably the better things are gonna run. Now, when it's coming down here, it will probably need refilled just a bit. We're down to 100 water, but we made it through okay. So hopefully this next time, these nice 4 large barrels here get filled, or at least get partially filled. Speaking of which, we don't need this anymore, so we don't need to worry about filling that up. We've got our logs back in place. This is all coming back in. This is good water, so they should be able to get through there. They got rid of our berries here that we weren't really needing anymore anyway, or at least I hope we won't need them anymore. let's take a path out and around here. Come down and grab a ladder. We're going to need a ladder here. And then I want to block this off, but I can't block it off completely because during a bad tide, that's going to turn to bad water, and we want it to go out that way and not this way. So let's just grab single gates. We'll come right across here. I could do a fifth one just because of the way it looks, but I don't really need to. We're going to save the lumber, save the effort, and just put in a nice path here. I'm hoping that the beavers don't get too contaminated. It's mostly good water, so they should be mostly okay, or at least that's what I'm hoping. Let's go ahead and fill this area back in with a couple trees. More trees here. There we go. Let's just do a large portion of this blend here in these trees. Whatever we don't need, we'll take out eventually. Speaking of taking out, it looks like somehow a berry bush survived, so we'll get rid of those. We still have somebody over here planting. Yeah, they are just taking their time planting, but hopefully with all of the pumps in, we don't have to worry quite as much about water from here on out. We've got this in there. Look at that. We've got a little bit of a reservoir going on over here now too. So there's so many places on this map that they can just put in some nice mini reservoirs. Eventually we'll want to make a bigger one though, so that we don't have to worry about water pretty much ever again. In fact, there's a bigger one that I've been wanting to put in right here. So let's go ahead and start with that. First things first though, I'm going to grab this. Let's go here because that's the only way we can take out this tree. Really wish there was a way to uproot trees from different levels, but currently there's nothing in the game that does that. Now, while we're here, let's take out these two, and we're going to start using some of these logs that we've got saved up. Let's get some levees in here. We'll just put you in, let's say down to there, looks good. Frost here, and we're going to have to take out, we're probably going to lose some potatoes here, so we probably want to expand our field just a little bit more. We'll put some more in here. We'll put some more in here. Just get a couple of extra potatoes here and there. I'm hoping that we don't have to rely on potatoes for too much longer. Maybe we can get some wheat going at some point. I don't know if that'll be today, but it would be very helpful if we could. So we've got the first part of this dam going in. I'm going to pause this so that I know that they can get that. We'll remove this tree because we won't need it anymore. And let's go ahead and keep going with this. Let's go right across here. And then we're going to want to do, we'll put them right here in the middle. I think that sounds like a good plan. Do that. And then let's get you in here. We've got a bad tide coming in. Well, that's okay. We can live through a bad tide or two. Put you in here, something like this. Now, I do want to come over here and start working here because I think we're going to eventually put at least a small industrial area here. So let's toss in, you know what? This looks like it was custom made for ladders. So we're just going to put ladders in right there. Let's do one across here, straight across, down, and we'll say when you get down here, let's chop all these trees out of here. There we go. That's all gone. We're going to say that these are slightly more important because I want to get down there before anything else. They've got all of that in there. And then we're going to need, looks like, one ladder to be able to get over here. And then, oh, here's another good place for that side platform. Saves us just a little bit of effort on where we've got to put that. There we go. So let's grab this, come on over this way, come on down and around. And we're going to grab the two big gates that we have here. So we've got threes. Now again, we could use the metal and then build across the top, but we haven't even started metal production yet, so we'll come back to that. But I do want them to be able to use this should they need to. So let's go, grab this first. It's going to come down that way. And then we want a shortcut right across here. So here again, we're going to use those side platforms. Here's our side platform. There we go. One there, one there. We're actually going to do one on either side as well, because I want to do a suspension bridge, not a 2. Let's do a 1. I've got the 100 science for it. There we go. A nice little bridge set up. We can probably replace these with some kind of nice decoration whenever it comes in. But that should give us a nice start. Let's go ahead, get that in there. They're still working on getting all of that out. How's our, oh, look at that. Our reservoir got in. It's looking really good. We'll go ahead and come over this way and toss in. There we go. We'll get a shortcut around here. And I'd like to make sure that we can actually use this. So let's go platforms. Actually, probably use the side platforms here. One side platform, 2 side platforms, and we'll see if a water pump will sit right on there. Yep, sure will, just perfectly. We'll make sure that we've got some storage so they don't have to keep emptying it. We'll put that right next to it. Set it up for water, and that's, yep, a supply. Looks like our water is going up quite a bit. We've got quite a large amount of that going on. This will probably need to go down. This will need to go up. There we go. Because that's going to start turning all to the red water. And once it does that, yep, this will all get slowly poisoned, but we can still pull out a little bit of water here, just not as much as if it were still a good tide or a drought. Over here, it looks like we're doing pretty well on these. Let's unpause those so they can get them in. How are our beavers doing? We actually have 1 spare beaver, but that beaver can go over here in this when it's built. How's this doing? Everything over here looks okay. They're not bringing a ton of lumber over there, but that's all right. We still have logs coming in. In fact, we have logs down here finally. So let's grab this. We'll grab one of these. We'll put you down here and make sure that for sure, yep, all of those are ready to be cut down. And then as these get cut down, we'll put a whole bunch more so that we can clear that out a lot faster. It's not like they don't have a place to put all of the logs. They just have to actually get to it. Luckily, we built that builder's hut, so hopefully they can build just a bit faster. Do we need anything else to take care of that at the moment? No. Are you pulling in anything? No, you're still pulling in a little bit, it looks like. So if that goes up to 8 after this, yeah, it sure does. Okay, well, we'll let you work there just slowly. You're still going. We have 1 extra beaver there. Plenty of water to keep these all funded and going and hopefully green for this time. But I think that's going to do it for this time. Next time, we'll see if we can get our whole river system in here along with the suspension bridge and the shortcuts to go around it. But as always, just want to say thank you very much for stopping by. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe, and hope to see you next time. Bye.